think whoever invites the other should pay. I think, chivalry's one thing, but...
It's Dave and Allie's mini morning show. If you can't take 4 hours of them, perhaps you'll enjoy this bite-sized version.
We are asking you this morning, who should pay on a first date? Allie's a traditional girl. I already know your answer. You think the guy should have to pay on the first date, don't you? Come on, say
Well, I think it depends on who does the asking.
it. Really? Okay.
If the guy asks the girl out, that should probably be on his shoulders.
Okay.
Whereas if I asked a guy out, then I would feel that would... I can't ask somebody out to dinner and then expect them to pay.
Unless, of course, you go, hey, would you like to take me out for a free meal? And then you've told them what you want.
Except if you're going to say it like that, you're like, hey.
Oh, is that, wow.
Would you like to take me out for, free meal? Yeah. It's a girl thing.
A little flirty.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see where that would
obviously
work.
you're interested, so flirting comes naturally.
I think this all started back in the day, right? When the guys, it was traditional for the guy to ask. Women didn't ask guys out way back when.
But also, women didn't have the income. They weren't working.
Yeah, they stayed at home.
Yeah, I think that's
predominantly,
kind of
right?
how it started.
Okay, yeah. And so I guess it was just assumed that the guy would ask and the guy would pay. But here we are, in 2022. Things have changed out there, right? So,
Yeah, girls ask guys out.
Yeah.
Girls ask girls out. It's changed a lot.
But that makes sense. Who's ever asking? It shouldn't just be the guy. But unless he, of course, did the asking.
So, have you ever had someone pay?
Not that I can remember. That just feels weird. But
So
then
you've
again,
always paid on the first date?
Yeah, but again, I can't remember any girls asking me out. I had to do the asking.
There's a reason for that.
I had to do the asking. So out of every 10, I got one. You fish a lot, you end up with a fish. Don't fish a lot, don't end up with any fish. So let's see what the Case Guy Cavalry says out there. What do you think? Who should pay on a first date?
So this is Christopher from Outlaw Country Dancers. And one thing that I've liked seeing lately from our dances is I've been seeing that they'll go out to dinner, they've said. The guy will pay there, and then when they come to the dance, usually the girl will pay for the dancing.
Okay,
That's
so
kinda
it's
what you
kind
were
of
saying.
Like that.
Yeah, more even. That it's he pays for one and then she pays for the other.
Exactly.
I think it's less about who pays and more about the expectation of who's going to pay.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot, too. Like, when I've gone out, I've seen a lot where the girl will almost, shy away from the bill just to be like, I'm not going to touch that at all. And I don't know if it's her being like, oh, this is, I don't want to seem rude to him to ask him, hey, I'll pay for this or anything like that. But at the same time, it's I've seen that a lot where the guy, she doesn't even, or the girl doesn't even try and take the bill.
This would be a great topic on a first date. You don't know what to talk about. As you're waiting for your meal, you could talk about this.
I
Be
guess
very insightful.
There you go.
Right? You don't think so? A little heavy?
Yeah, a little heavy,
A little heavy for the
date.
first one? Huh. But it's going to come up.
Yeah, depends on how well you know the person.
You could talk about that, and you could talk about the uncomfortable, is there going to be a kiss at the end of this date? Right?
There we go. Everyone likes using good icebreaker, right?
What?
Wow.
Allie's shying away from that one, too.
Yeah, if I would ever be on a date with you, I'd walk out.
So I just got two questions. Who's paying, and will there be a kiss? There you go.
I would leave at that point.
Oh, my God. All right, man. Good call. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You guys have a good one.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're good. It's all guys calling about the first date. How about that?
That's because it hurts their checkbook.
Is that? Yeah. So what do you got?
Well, my wife and I, we went to dinner on our first date, had our first date on New Year's Eve. We were married February 22nd. That was 28 years ago, so it must have been all right.
How about that?
So you went on your first date on New Year's Eve, and then you were married a month and a half later?
Yep.
Wow.
That must have been one first date.
Yeah.
Hey, it was good.
Where'd you go?
We went to back when the Black Angus was still here in Bozeman.
All right, Black. You ever been to a Black Angus? They're good.
No, I haven't.
Good steak, right?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
That's a 20-year steak, a 28-year steak. You know what? This is a whole topic here on of its own. Tell us about your first dates, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
We'll have to do that at some point because I'm sure people will have fun stories like this one, and people will have probably some awkward stories, which will be
I'm sure
fun
there's
too.
a lot of awkward stories.
But wow, how did you go from first date to marriage in a month?
Everything just clicked just right.
Yeah, it must have. And I mean, who's to say how long you got to wait? I mean, they're 28 years in. It
Yeah,
worked.
sometimes you just know.
You just know. Good for
That's
you
right.
guys. Hey, great call. Thank
yeah,
you.
congratulations.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I want to talk about this paying on the first date deal.
So you think that the guy should pay, right?
I think whoever invites the other should pay.
Okay. And now,
Yeah,
that's
I
not what-
completely agree.
Do you? Good. That's good. No, I really do. I think, chivalry's one thing, but I honestly think if I asked my guy on a date, I'd be the one paying for sure.
Yeah, you can't ask someone out on a date and then expect them to pay for the date you asked for.
Yeah, no, sorry, that's a real big red flag. I'd be running.
so is our question then assuming that the guy always asks?
For the most part, yeah, I think the guy does always ask.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
come down on that?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it should be up to the guy to ask?
No, I don't think it should, but I just think historically that's
Yeah.
just how it is, and it's just kind of staying on that side where the guys do ask most of the time.
So have you ever asked a guy out?
Yeah, I have actually, and then this is a funny story. So I asked him to stay home from North Dakota so we could go on a date because he worked in the oil field. He said, sure, let's go to the Snowmobile Expo. So we did. I worked at the Corral Bar in Big Sky at the time, so he and his buddy stopped and picked me up, and I was going to be their DD for that night. So he pretty much paid for everything for the night, and I let them get 3 sheets to the wind, and I set it on cruise control about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were heading back to Big Sky, and we get pulled over. And they tested me for DUI, and no, I wasn't drunk, but I had suspended driver's license. So to avoid going to jail, all the guys had to pull their money together and pay $600 on the side of the road so I could still drive them home. And so essentially he ended up paying for a date that I asked him on.
You might be the worst DD driver ever.
I think I might be. I really do. But you know what? They pulled me over for nothing because I did have the cruise control set. Anyway, we're still together 8 years later.
Well, there you
so
go.
It must have been all
See,
right.
it all worked out.
It was worth that $600.
And they got a great story out of it. That's awesome. Thank you for the call.
For sure. Thank you. Bye.
Want more Dave and Allie? Be sure to subscribe and follow them wherever you get your podcasts. Or join them on Facebook at Dave and Allie. And be sure to listen to them weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on K-Sky 106.9.